Naturally.
Welcome back to the podcast. After, I don't know how long, like a month, you heard it here. ... Pause. We're back to it eventually.
That's right.
My
Here we
computer has been very broken. If you follow the Twitter, you already know that.
The one tweet.
Yeah,
The one tweet I made about it. Yeah.
We got two tweets.
Oh, you did another. Oh, wait, you did a tweet from our account when you tweeted?
No, there's one tweet. We have multiple tweets on the page now, but there's only one tweet about this situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my computer basically just one day, I guess we can start with this. It just died. I tried to turn it on one day and it was like disk red error. Control Alt Delete to restart, and I did it. And it just
read.
Yeah.
Read error.
Yeah, that one. And it just kept doing it over and over again. Turns out, like, I think we figured out that basically it like didn't recognize that Windows was installed on my M.2 or something, which was really weird. Eventually we got onto the computer, I don't even remember how, and we took all the important stuff off of my M.2 and wiped it entirely. So the M.2 was fresh, and we put Windows on a hard drive, like a little flash drive, floppy, whatever, thumb drive, that's what it's called, and re-put Windows on my old computer, and then I just had like no information at all on it except stuff that I put on my 8 terabyte hard drive. So yeah, a little annoying that happened because I was planning on getting a new computer anyway, but wasn't planning on getting one this soon. And yeah, so then this dude over here recommended Power GPU.
I'm this dude.
Yeah.
Dragon Roar Jack over here.
Recommended Power GPU, so that's why I used to get my new computer. Very good service. You can see pictures on my Twitter. Vinny Bats TV. I have a video of the computer on there. Also, like, got liked by verified accounts. I'm a freaking popular dude now. I got freaking how many likes on this tweet now? How many likes? We got freaking 53 likes, 15k views on the tweet because Power GPU retweeted it.
Yeah. I believe that the steps were computer breaks, order from Power GPU, ... profit.
Yeah.
The 4-step process right there.
So now we're in the profit process. We both entered a giveaway for Starforge. Didn't win that.
I had to follow so many goddamn accounts and I haven't unfollowed them yet.
I know, me neither.
So annoying. I just gotta make a point to whenever I see a notification from them, go in and just unfollow.
Yeah. But yeah, Power GPU is awesome. If they want to sponsor us one day, I'm all for it. If they want to collab in any way, give me a free computer, I'm all for it.
You got a new one. I think I would be next.
Well, yeah. But yeah, if they want to give us as a whole podcast one computer, you can have it. But yeah, I love it. Basically, all you have to do is, well, they have ready to ship ones like every Friday. I don't know why I'm talking like this is an ad. It's not an ad, but it could be. You can like either get a ready to ship one, they restock like every Friday and it ships in like a couple days, or you can do what I did, which did take a little bit longer with not too many updates if I got to be a little nitpicky. But so what I did is you fill out this form, you're like, my budget is X, I'm going to use the computer for XYZ. I have brand preferences to these brands, so I'd rather use them. And they come back with an estimate and you can like go back and forth. I just went with the first estimate and I got a pretty beastly computer now. I have a 4080 in here, a Ryzen like 9 7900X, 32 gigs of RAM. Pretty crazy. And I
managed to fit his old hard drives in there, I believe, right?
One of them.
There was some back and forth there. Oh, there's one of them.
Well, because that's all
they
I
didn't
wanted.
Leave them a lot of room.
Yeah, so their cable management, that's one thing that they pride themselves on, is cable management. And it's so good that like I couldn't do anything in here. because it's like there's a bunch of panels that you can't get to the power supply like at all. It like there are some panels that you can open and some panels that are like this like weird like wrench like screw, and it almost looks like it's almost a complete circle, not even like a bolt with edges. So I don't even know how you would get that off if you need to get to the power supply, but we basically had to like get our little fingers in there and pushing a cable without being able to see exactly where it was going. Same thing with the motherboard. It was hard to get the cable from the hard drive to the motherboard, but we eventually got it. But yeah, great service. I think that the two things I would say is I ordered on February 12th. I got an update the 16th that the parts were being allocated, and that I was gonna get another update when it was building, and I was gonna get another upgrade when it was testing. And I didn't get an update for 2 weeks, and I got an update. Hey, it's built, it's tested, it's being shipped soon, which is fine because like yeah, it was being worked on the whole time. But when you spend that much money, it'd be nice to get like an update. And it's not even like, oh, I didn't get the email, but on my order number they were updating it constantly. My order number never changed because you can go on their website and check their order status. Nothing changed for my order that entire time that I was waiting for 2.5 weeks. And I had faith that it was fine. And if anything, I'm sure I could have run or gone to their customer service because they respond pretty quickly on their Discord. I just chose not to. Um, but yeah, so that's something I would change. And then also, I specified that I was gonna put an old hard drive in here. So if they could have left like a cable hanging out of the power supply or a cable hanging out of the motherboard, that
Or
would
like a
have been nice.
sticker, like
Yeah,
a sticker that says you can insert up, like attach your hard drive here,
exactly. Yeah,
like give you like little pointers there. Maybe they expected you to reach out when you were putting it in,
yeah, and that's fine.
and they were gonna like video with you or something. But they, again, they could have specified that. I think from your experience, it probably sounds like I would guess a lot of places where you can custom build are similar, but I think those places probably just give you an ETA right away. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you'll get your computer in 3 weeks. Like this
Mm-hmm.
place doesn't really do that. They like expect you to kind of follow their Twitter and follow like a
Yeah.
lot of their updates to say, oh, the orders placed in this date range are being worked on now, or like we got a new shipment of these parts. If it's in your custom order, it's being worked on now, or something like that.
Yeah. And like it's fine because for me, the day after I ordered, I was at one of their live streams and someone happened to ask, hey, when are custom orders being built? And they were like, oh, we're about 2 to 3 weeks out, which lined up perfectly with when I got this and when I ordered this. Um, so I happen to know, but yeah, if I didn't know that, I would have no idea. Or if I didn't go to that live stream, I would have had no idea. But I absolutely love this case. My old one, I had like screws on that I had to unscrew every time I wanted to get in it. This is literally a door. Both sides are a door. It's just one side is like a window that you can see all the parts. The other side is just basically nothing. Um, but it's awesome. I got the Elgato in there, it works. I got the hard drive in there, it works. Had some bugs with Windows. It was like, hey, your hardware changed. Windows is no longer installed on this computer, which that was a quick fix. I DM'd them or I messaged their general chat Discord, and then Power GPU himself graced my presence and was like, "Hey, message our support team."
Yeah, the
And
owner
yeah,
is Power GPU himself. Yeah.
and I did that, and the next morning I got a new key that also didn't work, and then 30 minutes later I got a new key, and that worked. And now I have Windows
Mm.
11 for the first time because my old
And
computer
Windows
was
11 is nice.
yeah, I
I have
like
a
it.
laptop with it. I think it's a great improvement. First off, quality of life. I can't believe it took so long. Your taskbar is just centered on your screen, or at least mine is
Yeah.
by default. Like your icons are in the center. Of course you want that. Why would you want them off to like the left on like one monitor or something?
Mhm.
Like what a quality of life improvement that is for me, to be honest. Like
I also love I don't know, I like going from minimizing to um like expanding a window. It looks like so much smoother. I like that the borders are all smooth instead of rectangle.
mm,
Just overall nice. I do think my dog is barking. So we just got back, and I might need to pause this.
that's fine.
All right, and 1p later we are back.
Okay.
Um But yeah, so that's about it for the computer updates. Basically, it died. We were on hiatus because we couldn't record, and now we are back. Um, so that's good. I guess we can do big today now of the week. I'll go first. I saw Cocaine Bear yesterday. 11 out of 10. It's a great movie. Everyone needs to go see it. It's incredible. It changed my life.
He does
Um,
cocaine now.
yeah, they give you free complimentary cocaine at all AMC's across the nation. So if you want a good experience, go to AMC. Now sponsor of You Heard It Here eventually.
That'd be a good sponsor. It's literally the only theater chain I go to.
I listen, whenever I have to my first Marvel, I always go up to my friend who lives like an hour away, and he only has a Regal Cinemas near him.
Hmm. Yeah, they're dying.
Shitty ass screens. They got
Yeah,
like the screens are the size of my phone. We went to the AMC with the same friend by me yesterday. He's like, this is a game changer because it was such
yeah,
a crazy difference.
yeah. There's a Regal by my parents. We used to go to the Regal, and then 'cause there's no AMC nearby, and then there's like a Cinépolis, which was Bowtie Cinema, which was Clearview Cinema. Or
Never
no,
even heard of those.
yeah, I think it's mostly like East Coast, like on the coast, but it also goes all the way down to like Mexico.
Mm.
So Cinépolis is a Mexican theater brand. They bought it. They're like a luxury theater brand, though. Like every theater chain in Mexico is basically luxury. Like you go there, and it's all like 16-page menus of food. You can order like 12 different types of popcorn and flavors and all this other stuff.
Wow,
It's like an experience to
I
go to
gotta
a
go to
movie in Mexico.
Mexico.
And almost all their movies are English with Spanish subtitles because people like to watch with the source
Mm.
material audio. So it's not really even a problem for if you don't speak Spanish.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they most people preferred the subs over dubs, just like most anime. Well, I don't know if most anime watchers really do. I feel like most do, since there's so many memes about it. But who knows?
You heard it here eventually. Mexico's full of weebs.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the fun fact for this week.
They do like anime down there, though. There's a lot of like Japanese stores down there in their like touristy areas and their culture like hotspots,
Wow.
and it's a lot of anime manga stuff. Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah, so Cocaine
what's
Bear, basically think like it's like if Final Destination was like actually good. Cause like a Final Destination, I can recognize that it's my guilty pleasure. I know it's not good. I just enjoy the movies. But this is Final Destination, but good because it's just like everyone gets like killed in brutal ways, and it's just funny to. But it's like actually funny. Like it's not like, oh, this looks like it hurts, so I'm gonna laugh instead of like grimace. It's like there's
it's
like
also it's based ever so loosely on a true story because there
yeah,
was a grizzly bear
and
that actually ingested like 200 pounds of cocaine
I
or something
found
and
out
eventually died.
that he's taxidermied in Kentucky,
Yeah, he
and he
is. Yeah,
can
I knew he
marry
was
you.
taxidermied.
He can marry you.
That's cool. I mean, in Kentucky, of course.
Yeah, because
Everything's legal in Kentucky.
it's like something I don't even know what the rule is, but there's like some law that like because he can't deny you or something, you're like it's like an opt out instead of an opt in, and since he's taxidermied and can't opt out, he can marry you.
So, like, basically, in wedding vows, and someone in Kentucky listening, I know someone out there is, you can confirm this. So, basically, at weddings, instead of saying I do, you say I don't not do.
Exactly. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here's the article. It says, according to the bear's owners, the cocaine bear has the authority to officiate legal binding weddings in the mall where it's kept due to Kentucky's marriage laws. This claim is only partly true. The bear does not have the authority to solemnize weddings, but the state of Kentucky cannot invalidate marriages performed by unqualified parties if the parties believe that the person marrying them has the authority to do so. As such, it is a belief that the cocaine bear's authority that allows it to officiate legal binding weddings in Kentucky. As long as both people are like, this bear can officiate my wedding, and they believe it, they're good.
There you go.
And that's a
It's
new
all about
goal in my
belief.
life.
It's like season 3 of Sword Art Online.
Yep.
It's all about belief.
That's just anime. It's all about friendship
Uh,
and believing.
not all of them. This one's all about belief. It makes your sword more powerful. I saw it happen.
That's true.
I have like 10 minutes left on season 3's finale because I didn't finish it when I got off the train.
Wait, are you watching? You're watching Alicization or Alicization War of the Underworld or whatever?
First one,
Because I
season
like
3.
that.
See,
Yeah.
I consider season 4 the War of the Underworld one.
Oh, see, I never finished that one. But I finished Alicization.
I'm close. I'm close.
Yeah.
The big bad just basically like kind of got loose.
Oh, okay.
Uh, while making love to the clown fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Such a weird scene. I felt weird watching on the train. This isn't on our agenda, but I just gotta say this. I felt a little weird watching on the train because the big bad is like a very attractive female, and basically in the first 5 minutes of seeing her, her clothes get torn up, so she just gets rid of them, and she's fighting naked
Mm-hmm.
literally the whole time, and it's like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So I was like on the subway, and there was a little kid sitting next to me, so I was like, great, I can't watch it now. I like actually paused the anime and didn't watch it, and I
Yes. Sometimes
waited till I got on the train.
if I'm normally like this watching something on the train, I'll like go because I always sit in the window. I'll always go like this, but then I'm like, is the person behind me looking at my or looking at my screen through the reflection of the window, and then I get more embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was fine. No one sat next to me on the train that day, so I was fine just watching. And my train got stuck at one of the stations, so I actually watched more than normal.
Mm,
But yeah, on the subway, I was like, yeah, I definitely am not going to keep watching this with this kid next to me, and I would feel weird turning away from the kid.
yeah.
Like I'm obviously then watching something on my phone kids can't see, which is weird, right? If it's not gory and violent, then it's probably porn or nudity, and
Mm,
it's on the subway in New York City, so it's obviously believable that someone would be doing this,
yeah,
but you don't want to be the guy that's doing it.
that's true.
So
Um, but yeah, your big titty.
there's no more on Cocaine Bear. Okay, I
I mean,
probably will eventually see it when
listen,
it comes to a streaming
no,
service.
you need to
but
just go. I was in your stream and someone said they would go with you. So just go.
no, Katsuragi said he would buy my ticket. He didn't say he'd
No,
go with.
he did say he'd go with you. Go check your logs
He
right
doesn't
now.
know the movie. He wouldn't enjoy it. I
I
wouldn't. I wouldn't do it.
literally, he said, I will
wouldn't do
go with you. And then he said, I will pay for your ticket.
Yeah, but
Both messages.
he doesn't know. He doesn't know that. I don't think he watches very many things rated R. Like he's not a big fan of violence or anything like that. He would not like it. I wouldn't make him do it.
It's
But
an
I
amazing
could.
movie.
I'll see it eventually. Just probably not in theaters.
It's the wrong choice.
Well, whatever. That's fine. So my big titty. I didn't really look up a ton of stuff. So my big titty is I've been playing Hades on stream and I finally escaped. I mean, I think I've probably played this game for like 12 or 13 hours and I finally escaped for the first time. I came close twice. I came close twice and I finally got out. I like reached Hades, like the end boss with full. I have 3 extra lives. I was full and I was full on health. Like because I got some power up where every time I kill someone with my triangle attack, it gives me like plus 2% of my health. So I was topped off, and I still, I think I died. I used all 3 relives. It was insane. But mostly because I'd never actually seen any of these moves, so I didn't know anything about the boss. So he was kicking my ass the first few times that the move happened, and then I kind of adjusted.
Yeah.
So when I get to him again, I think I'll be okay. But man, it is a good game. I wish I played it earlier. I wish I played it when it was free on Game Pass instead of buying it on Steam. But I mean, I bought it for 50% off anyway, so paid $12 for the game. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think I think I don't know if I'll do it on stream, but I'll probably go back and try to get like the 10 or 12 whatever you need to get the whole
10
story.
10 escapes get you the credits, and then to get like the true ending or whatever, someone told me you just need to finish out the characters' storylines, but I think there's only 6 characters that you have to finish out their storylines. It doesn't take long.
Oh.
You just need and you need to, in order to initiate the storylines for each of the characters, you just need to give them 6 nectars, and then eventually you'll need to give them some ambrosias.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, because I want to play Hades too. Probably like close when it comes out.
Oh, I definitely will now that I've played Hades, but this game is a fucking hand killer for me.
Listen, he
grip the
sucks at this
controller
game.
I do suck.
It's crazy how and he knows what he needs to improve on, and he just doesn't.
I don't want the escape attempts to take forever by me being careful. Hey.
But it's not that they take forever. It's just like, so when you get to like a certain.
I escaped in 36 minutes. I feel like average for most people is like an hour or something, and they don't, not taking damage. But they also probably up the difficulty with their modifiers.
But also it's like you. So when you get like the first couple floors, it's like you hit an enemy, they can't attack you because they're like staggered by your hit, and then you get to like I don't even know what floor, but these enemies start getting like yellow armor, and you can attack them, and their attack animations will still go off, and he just doesn't care. He keeps attacking.
My timing is slightly off for these. Yes. So in my defense, it gets so chaotic that I don't know what's hitting me most of the time anyway. So I'm not seeing it coming. So I probably do need to be more careful. But whatever. I mean, I got out. I'll get out again with each weapon. I'm sure.
And coincidentally, we even though I played it months and months, maybe probably like a year ago at this point, our first escape was with the same weapon and same upgrade with the fist magnets.
Yeah, the modified version of the weapon. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and I haven't tried it after escaping once.
I think I
Yeah, I
did
know
it
there are
once
other
with them
changes.
and once with the spear, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I probably want to escape at normal difficulty. I think you can only up the difficulty for a weapon after you beat it with that weapon anyway.
Yeah.
Like I can't like beat it with the fist and then go in with like a +5 modifier on the bow. Just be like, yeah, no, I didn't beat it with the bow normally, but I definitely can do this +5
Yeah.
modifier shit. So I'll definitely play it more. I like the storylines, and there's 3 romance options. I want to do them too, which is basically the character storylines also.
Mhm.
To get you get companions, and the companions apparently like kick ass. They're basically supercharged moves.
Oh, I don't think I ever did that. That's
No,
cool.
you definitely didn't because you didn't give anyone 6 nectars.
Yeah.
Like for example, I mean, you don't really care if I spoil how you do some of them.
No.
So like for example, there's Sisyphus, the guy that's always rolling the boulder uphill, and
Mhm.
it's always fated to come back down. You give him 6 nectars, it'll start a storyline where you're gonna like actually release him from his from his punishment. Like,
Mhm.
and when you do that, he'll let you talk to his boulder and start getting reputation with that. And when you do that, eventually you'll get the boulder as a companion.
That's pretty
And when you
cool.
use them, it's like having a keepsake. And whenever you do use them, it's like a supercharged move. So one of them is Meg, the Fury, and she'll come down and just in a straight line in front of you wipe out every enemy basically.
Dang.
You can get Thanatos. You can get one where he'll come down and he'll just do his big circle attack that does 9999 damage to whatever's inside of it. So as long as you have everything removed of armor, it's a one shot guaranteed, except for on bosses.
Dang.
Things like that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on stream because I have it on Steam Deck too, so I might just play it casually on there.
I was saying this is probably the first game I ever wish I played off stream.
Yeah.
Like I think I would have definitely beaten it sooner. I definitely would have like been focused more on the actual fighting.
So do you
And
think you're gonna do that with Hades too?
with Hades 2, I'll probably stream it, but I'll also start at the exact same time a side file where I can do whatever I want.
Mm.
So I'll probably get ahead of myself on the off stream file
Yeah.
so that I can like just enjoy the game and learn it better and just get out faster on stream, and I have less than 12 hours of VOD before my first escape and stuff like that. Because I think on average most people who've played the game, when they do a fresh save file, they can escape on like their 3rd or 4th attempt after getting some darkness. Like that's insane to me. But I mean, that's just the skill level of people, I
No, but
guess.
I also think it's like, because you're saying third or fourth attempts, you're saying every attempt is getting to a new boss potentially, which I don't know if that's the case. Because I feel like you would die on every boss at least once.
If you know the moves though and you know how to avoid them, I think it's
But you
completely
don't. You're
doable.
saying a fresh file.
Yeah, a fresh file, but someone who's played the games.
Oh yeah.
Like they know Meg's attacks.
Gotcha.
They know
Gotcha. Yeah.
they
Yeah.
know the Bone Hydra's attacks.
Yeah, that's
Like
the easiest
they'd be
boss.
fine kicking his ass. Yeah.
Um.
I'm not saying someone who picks up the game and knows nothing about it is like, all right, after my 4th
Yeah.
attempt, I'll be out. Like they'll probably have a trajectory kind of somewhere between me and you. I think you got out pretty fast. I got out pretty slow, somewhere in the
Yeah.
middle.
And I think I
also,
was middle to you. I wouldn't
I
say I was fast.
also, I also, instead of going for my best builds, I went for whatever a fated choice was given to me so that I could build out my they have like a dex where you do certain fated options
Mm-hmm.
and eventually you get rewards. So even if it was something totally useless for my build, I took it. So there were probably things I could have done where I could have escaped way sooner if
Yeah.
I went for like optimal attack builds and toward the end I had gotten so many of the boons that I was using some of the ones that I just like a lot, and it was like super damage. It was like I was clearing high level rooms in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So it was totally different compared to like compared to it when I was taking fated choices that like conflicted with one another.
Yeah.
Like one was use your cast, one was use your special, one upgrade up to your attack power. Like you use everything,
Mm-hmm.
but you should focus on basically one thing and prioritize it, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's the big T.
Yeah, the big tease of the week. Real quick, I think we talked about this on the podcast that Attack on Titan was splitting their final season up into 2 parts, and I was all pissy about it, which I still think it's dumb, but I did not understand how they were doing it now, or I didn't understand how they were doing it then. So slight update to that. I thought that when they said Attack on Titan final season part 3 was going to be split into 2 parts, it was either going to be part 3 was going to be 12 episodes and was going to be 6 and 6, or crazily part 3 was going to be 24 episodes and was going to be 12 and 12. And when I knew they had 8 chapters left, I was like, this is just going to be so bad. It's going to be so like stretched out and it's not going to be good. Turns out I was wrong. It's a 60 episode special that came out for part 1, and it's a 60 episode.
Minute.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
60-minute, not 60
episodes.
not 60 episodes and 60 episodes.
60-minute special that came out for part 1 and a 60-minute special that'll come out for part 2 later this year. So I think that's much better. The one
Aren't
thing
they also like changing the ending?
that's what I'm scared about. That's what I was going to bring up. I don't know.
Well, everyone hates the ending though.
No, but like I don't think any author should be bullied into changing what they truly believe the ending should be. And like this dude came to Anime Expo and just apologized to everyone, and that's crazy to me.
I mean, if no one likes it, you can stand by it and just kind of be an ass, or you can just say, "Yeah, no, I understand you don't like it. I'm sorry," or something like that. And maybe he does regret it.
But
I
also,
think,
it's like what
I'm
is the
sure
I
that
need
Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I need to know what the ending is. If it's
Yeah,
that, because
you don't know yet. So
let's be real. I'm sure this isn't spoilers because I don't actually know what happens. I'm just speculating for anyone who cares. Aaron's probably gonna die, and I don't know if that's what people are mad about, or if they're mad about something else. But if that's what they're mad about, that's not something to be mad about. He's been on a track to death for I don't even know how many seasons now. Like, he shouldn't make it out of this series alive. So if that changes, that's dumb.
I mean, that's weird because I mean, he literally dies in the first season and just kind of comes back to life.
No, but like dead.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying like this is a series that doesn't shy away from killing characters, right? Like,
yeah, it's the
it's
Game
kinda
of
like
Thrones
the
of
Game
anime.
Thrones of anime, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think that anyone could really be. I mean, people were obviously upset when their favorite characters died in Game of Thrones, but I mean, George R. R. Martin was just like, yeah, fuck you.
No, but see,
So
this is another reason why I think it's just like weebs being so annoying. Is like when there's a character that dies at the beginning of the 4th season or the final season of Attack on Titan, and the voice actress got death threats. Like weebs are insane. That's why maybe
they
the
have no
ending
say.
maybe the ending is bad, but weebs are also insane. Both could potentially one is for sure true. The other one maybe is true. But that's why I don't know if I trust everyone who complains about the ending.
Yeah, it's like a lot of I don't know why people target the voice actors. Like the voice actress for in Last of Us Part 2 was getting death threats too. It's like she didn't write the story. She took like 3 days, went into a sound recording studio and recorded voice lines that were on a script. She didn't even know what the story probably was.
Yeah.
She gets no say. They don't get any say. They're not the creative people behind it. They're just the people that bring the character to life.
Yeah.
Would you rather you don't like the character, so you think they should give a bad performance on purpose? Would you
Exactly.
prefer that? Like, I don't understand the logic there. But a lot of people do illogical things when they're hiding behind the anonymity of the internet
Yeah.
and the anonymity of like a random no return address mailing envelope of death threats and stuff like that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think part of if he does change the ending, I'm obviously gonna look up the manga one. And I don't know, I feel like that will be the manga one will be my headcanon unless I agree with the changes. But like I said, I don't know what the changes are. I don't know what the original ending is. But
There have been authors who like regret the way they ended things and they said, "Oh, I wish I ended it this way. That could be official canon." I mean, that's happened.
yeah, but like, is it
So
that's why I just don't know if it's really that.
you'll never
bad.
know.
Yeah. Well,
You'll
no, I'll
never know if they're
know.
bullied. No, you'll never know if they were bullied. Though you'll never know if
Yeah.
like they wanted to change it or they really thought back on the ending and said, "You know what? I didn't think that through well enough." Or like years later they have like some sort of epiphany. Like they're rethinking about their series and they're like, "You know what? I mean, I set all this stuff up and blah 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 blah." And then I ended up not following through, or I tried to just go for like a shock value ending and I regret it. Things like that.
I think for the timing of this one though, it really seems like the bullying was a factor. Like this Anime Expo thing where he apologized happened like last year, 2 years ago maybe. It's just being animated.
I mean, soon after it came out, though, like soon after the ending came out.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It's not like the anime was close to the end, obviously. And
Yeah.
people were like, "Oh, you know what? The manga sucks. You know, why'd you do it this way?" Like now that they know what it is, it was people that read the manga. They were like, "I hate this ending." So
I don't know.
No, it could still be bullying. It could still be like a whole collective saying like this ending sucks. But
Yeah.
it's up to the author if they want to stand by it, stand firm. Like,
And
hey, this is how I always envisioned it happening.
until there's a sequel, either can, if there is ever a sequel, either or could be canon. If he makes a sequel, then he's gonna have to say this one definitively happened and this one definitively did not.
Yeah, no Dragon Ball stuff where the anime is canon and also the manga and different things happen. No,
I hate
no
that.
more of that. Toriyama gets a pass because Dragon Ball is so influential on the rest of anime and manga culture, but
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even really get a pass from us.
Yeah,
But he gets a pass in the anime manga world. They're all fine with it
I
because
know.
he's like most people's inspiration. Like Naruto wouldn't exist, One Piece wouldn't exist. Oda has said he was his inspiration. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
and I forget. I think the guy, God, I read it recently. Some big series. The only reason he had the guts to submit it to Shonen was because of Dragon Ball or something like that. So, or like a Toriyama interview. So like,
Yeah.
I'll give him a pass, I guess. But
Um.
yeah, it's not as bad as originally conceptualized when we didn't know what was happening.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. So I guess what do we want to do now? We got a bunch
Modern
of.
Family.
All
I
right.
think we can do all of it. We're not going to spend a lot of time on any of these other things. I don't think.
All right.
Uh,
So yeah, I didn't finish season 5. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing, but that's just because I was at a good stopping point, and I didn't. It's a 2-parter finale, and I didn't feel like watching 2 episodes in a row this entire time. But I know what happens,
such a good
obviously.
2 episodes, though.
Yeah.
Such a good 2 episodes.
But yeah, so this is our mid rewatch
It's
and
an
review.
11 season show, so it's like a mid. Yeah, we did season 1. We'll do like up to season 5, and then we'll do the last 6
Yeah.
seasons. So for me, one, I mean, I guess we'll rating it. Yeah, I think it still stays a 10 out of 10. I can't think of a single episode where I didn't enjoy it. I thought that the characters weren't like true to form or anything
Yeah.
like that. And honestly, I mean, I think it's one of the sitcoms that has like the best evolution of characters. There are tons of old sitcoms where the characters never really evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think of like Friends, Joey is always just like this, like he's just driven by food and sex. Like he never really evolves beyond it. He just moves from woman to woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the things that like the characters made the characters like likable or unlikable, they just stick with.
Mm-hmm.
Like as if these people will never change. But Modern Family is totally different. I am assuming the creator is working through probably some childhood traumas with some of these characters, to be honest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so Jay, the patriarch of the whole family, he goes through one of the best character arcs, like and evolutions of a character that I've ever seen, probably.
Yeah, he was
He
so
goes from
homophobic.
Yeah, I mean, and when the series first starts, he's not exactly homophobic, but he's still weirded out by the stuff. And he constantly, like, sometimes every so often, he'll kind of have a setback and he'll say, "Oh, you know how far I've come, all these other things that have happened."
Mm-hmm.
And eventually he'll kind of grow from the experience. But it kind of feels almost like one of the creators was probably gay or in the closet, and their dad was definitely not like Jay, and they really wish that he was
Yeah.
or something like that. That's kind of like the vibe that I get. Um, but Jay is just super awesome. I mean, everything about it, like learning as a dad, like to not make the same mistakes because he has another kid on the way, and
Mm-hmm.
he's also a dad to Manny, like the dad to Manny. Not Manny's dad is like just a nobody really.
Yeah.
Um, so he's like I would say he's probably, as far as character development, he's probably my favorite character. Um, my big three will always be uh Phil, Jay, and Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
They're my favorites for sure. They'll stay my favorites, I'm sure, till the end.
Yeah. Um. No, yeah, I don't really have much to add. I just think like it's a great show. I think it's like a show that I think we talked about it last time, but I will always like laugh out loud watching, even alone.
Yeah.
When most stuff I'll just be like, huh, that's funny. Like Modern
Yeah.
Family continues to make me laugh, no matter how many times I've seen it.
Yeah, it just cracks you up. Like
Gil Thorpe, great character. I mean, he's a shitty character, but hilarious.
He is
But,
funny.
yeah.
I love when Phil gives him a license on purpose.
Yeah.
He starts banging their heads together,
Mhm.
and Gil doesn't even think of it. I I like the yeah, I definitely misremembered Lily. She's funnier than
Yeah.
I gave her credit for.
Mm-hmm. She
She's
has these like
not
one-liners that are just hilarious as a toddler saying them.
yeah. I mean she's not my favorite character, but she's definitely funnier than I gave her credit for. By this point we're up to the inclusion of Andy,
Mm-hmm.
who is God, what the hell's his name? You remember the actor's name?
No, but I know. Yeah.
He's from Pitch Perfect as one of the guy singers that's kind of with the bigger actress who now is skinny, but she was the bigger actress.
No, I
I
never,
can't remember her name either.
I never seen Pitch Perfect, so I don't know.
Son of a he did a lot of stuff on Netflix too. I think he was in Whitest Kids You Know or something as well. That might be where he started for comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a really funny actor, and he is a great addition to the cast. He's like a foil to Haley.
Yeah.
Haley kind of fails out of college and is still like this like bad girl with no direction in life, and this guy is in a committed relationship. He's going through troubles. He's being a nanny so that he can pay his way through college. He moved from his hometown, all this other stuff. Like they really set up the stage to like I'm glad that they included him as a character.
I love the
Cam and
episode.
Mitchell. Yeah, go ahead.
I love the episode when Haley actually gets kicked out of college, and she's just at the committee admitting to every bad thing that she's ever done, when she really has to say nothing.
Yeah, just thank you for your candor.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're moving her out at the end of the
Yeah.
episode. That was funny to me how Phil's just hungry. He's trying to stay nice, and then he just snaps at her, and then
Mhm.
Claire's like, and then she's like, "Where are you guys going?" To get this man a waffle. He's been asking for a waffle the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to get him a waffle so that he could finally not be hungry. I like having Jason's Sudeikis, or not Sudeikis, Jason Mazapazalus or whatever, from
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine. He's the voice of Jay in Big Mouth. He also is in like he's a one-off in the episode
The
where he's
jeans
dating
guy.
Haley, but he's like 40. Yeah, he sells jeans out of his car, and like Phil is like Claire keeps telling Phil, "My dad did this. I did this to my dad to get a rise out of him. Just stay calm." And like Phil is like trying to punch other things off screen, and he's like freaking out. And then they finally have like goes away, and then then Phil goes to run after her, and then there's an elevator switcheroo situation, and then Phil runs back up, and Haley knows that Phil loves him and stuff, or loves her. So there's a lot of really good feel good moments in the show. There's a lot of really good funny moments, and I think the actor's really good. When so Cam and Mitchell, this show goes on when I think it was Prop 8 or Prop 6 when gay marriage was legalized in California, first state to do it, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So the show has a whole storyline around it, and Cam and Mitch get married, and like Jay kind of has a setback, and then Mitchell tells him not to come to the wedding, and like he's breaking down in tears and stuff. It's such good acting, and it made me feel real emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's always a good sign for a show.
I also love
But yeah, still a 10 out.
all the episodes where they go on vacation. I think it's like in the first season when they go to Hawaii, and then they go to Australia when Phil's mom dies. I love all those
That
vacation
same season
episodes.
they go to like Vegas,
Yeah.
I think too.
Mm-hmm.
And Claire has to win back all the money she lost their first trip to Vegas, like literally 20 years ago. She's been
Mm-hmm.
slowly building it back up for a retirement fund or a college fund or something. Phil is none the wiser.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last evolution that I really like is so the kids grow up. Alex is going through like serious anxiety issues and feels disconnected from family. Like a lot of real issues.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of shows still shy away from that now. But like real things that are happening to kids in school. Like Alex is an overachieving student, and every single class is giving her 2 hours of homework a night.
Mm-hmm.
At night. Like her whole life is homework, sleep, school, homework. Like
Yeah.
if she wants to stay ahead of the curve and be like on top of the classes and stuff. Having Manny and Luke basically the same age as how they switch roles. One's cool, one's a loser, and then in high school everything changes. It shows people who are like Manny, like things get better.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always going to be the outcast. Eventually, kids aren't going to be dicks, and you're going to be an adult. And adults really appreciate culture and someone who's comfortable in their own skin and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
all the characters are unique and tell different stories and show you different aspects of life. And it's a home run every single time.
Yeah. I think if there was one sitcom I could recommend, it's probably Modern Family.
Yeah.
Although
Yeah,
I do
it'd be
need to
like one of
watch.
my highest ones.
One of my friends was telling me about Abbott Elementary. I heard I need to watch that.
I haven't heard of it.
It has the dude from Everyone Hates Chris, but like as an adult, he's a teacher, and then I think he's like a secondary character. I don't remember the actress's name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it, but it's like a bunch of, I think it's like middle school, elementary school teachers or something. Some sitcom with them. Um, that's really all I know about it though. But I've
Teagues.
Quinta
Trying to look it up
Brunson.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, her character, I guess, is Janine Teagues. I wasn't sure how they were doing it.
yeah. Yeah, second grade school teacher at a poorly funded school. Um, but yeah, my friend is watching it right now, and he said it's awesome. Or it's like it's so funny, and I probably need to watch that.
Yeah, on Hulu, looks like it's easy enough to watch. I guess everything it's like simulcast, or maybe it's like a Hulu
I
original.
think
I
it's
can't tell.
so I no, I think it's on Hulu right now. But then if you want to watch season 2, which is currently airing, it's like on if you have like a cable password or something, you can go on like the AMC website or ABC website and just
they don't
log in.
do a simul
I don't think so.
release thing. Some shows they do, some shows they don't. Like FXX shows they do, like Archer.
Yeah,
Every week there's a new episode. Bob's Burgers, same thing. There's a new
Dave.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It said if you want to watch the first season, if you don't have Hulu, you have HBO Max, you can watch it too, but not the second season. Yeah.
Oh wait, this is in the U.S. The show airs on ABC and streams on Hulu with next day availability, and HBO
Yeah.
Max after every season. Okay, so it does.
Yeah. That makes sense.
All right, yeah, I'll probably watch that soon. Maybe after Modern Family, we'll do not a rewatch and review, but a watch and review.
Like just a watch and
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just a normal review for something that we both enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something that we are told to watch. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's everything I had to say about Modern Family. It's definitely it's 11 seasons. It's a long investment. If you're looking for a long show to really get absorbed in, it's a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say since we're on reviews, why don't we just go to Ant-Man 3?
Yeah,
We can do the apocalypse thing another time if it gets to be
yeah,
too
we're
long
at
of an episode.
42. We could potentially do both. We both saw Ant-Man 3. I was hoping, so like I said, I ordered my computer on the 11th, and Ant-Man came out on the 16th. I was really hoping it would have came by that Saturday while the...
I was commanded to watch it
Yeah.
sometime from Thursday to Saturday, so on that Sunday we could review it and stuff. I actually did end up watching it on Saturday, just me and my girlfriend.
Yeah. I think it is not MCU at its peak, but it was not MCU at its worst. I think
yeah.
This movie...
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think this movie lost a lot of the Ant-Man charm from the first two movies, which one of my friends hates the first two Ant-Mans. I love them. So maybe for people like that who hated them, this movie was better than the first two. For me, who loved the charm of the first two Ant-Man movies, I think it was worse than the first two. Worse, I don't know. Maybe like on par with some of them, but definitely not better. Which I think we were all expecting it to be better, given like Kang is the next Thanos, and this was his introduction movie.
I do think that was one of the problems. I don't think Ant-Man is the vehicle you use to set up the big bad.
Yeah.
I think you use, first off, you're setting up Doctor Strange to be the new Robert Downey Jr., so why would you not introduce him?
Well, no, I don't even think. I think you could even do it with like, since this is comic spoilers, I guess, which could potentially be MCU. It's probably gonna be MCU spoilers, but I think you could have like given him a tease, maybe not, like how Thanos, he was always introduced as like a tease in Avengers post credits.
He was a presence.
Yeah.
He was a presence that was there, but not directly felt until the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, so like give him, or like tease Kang in like the Fantastic Four movie, since he's Nathaniel Richards, Reed Richards' descendant from like the 30th century or whatever. You could have teased him there. You could have teased him, or maybe they still will.
I mean, you already showed him in Loki, a version of him in Loki.
Yeah. So, that version was awesome. I love He Who Remains.
Yeah. That introduction to the character in general was fantastic.
Yeah, and this character was awesome. Every scene with Jonathan Major, let me preface also, amazing. I think he killed the role of Kang. Also spoilers for the movie, obviously, from now until the end of the episode. Or maybe whenever we finish talking about this.
I mean, as soon as we said we were going to review Ant-Man 3, I think everyone just assumed that we're going to spoil stuff if it's a new thing.
Timestamps on the bottom if you want to skip it. But so I think one of the biggest problems with this movie can be changed later, potentially, is I don't think Kang should have died, which again, maybe he's not. I think he's not dead. If he is dead, and like this is the end of the Conqueror version of Kang, worst choice in the MCU history, I think, honestly, because this Kang was like such a menacing presence, and he was like so threatening every time he was on screen. He stole every moment of screen time he was on that I didn't
which
feel
is
from the
tough
other
from Paul
Kangs.
Rudd.
Yeah,
Which is tough to steal from Paul Rudd, to be honest. He normally steals the scene.
yeah.
People.
And I didn't feel that from the Kangs in the post credit scene. Obviously, we didn't. We were with them for like a minute, but like he had
Yeah.
this like presence about him that was just so awesome that Jonathan Majors did very well. That if he is dead, I think it's a terrible choice. Obviously, if the Earth leads to the quantum realm and Kang shrunk down, he didn't die. He shrunk down like what's his face, MODOK. Why can't the quantum realm lead to another realm, potentially even a probability storm?
Yeah, not even that, but I think it is a probability storm because he literally gets shrunk down into the core of his ship, which is they already went in the movie. They go down into that and into a probability storm.
Yeah.
And I feel like the out that they have is that the probability storm happens and somehow the conquerors all kind of collectively work together to escape, like to get out. And obviously the probability storm would normalize to just one version, the main version.
Yeah.
The same way it did for Ant-Man and Wasp and stuff. So I think that's the out. I really seriously doubt he's dead because I think in Marvel, if you don't see a body, they're not dead.
But it's also like, I also don't know.
That's why I don't think Wanda's dead. That's why I think that Wanda has a definite chance. Like Scarlet Witch Wanda has a chance to come back.
Yeah. It's also, but like, I just don't know why they wouldn't. Maybe it's too confused normies who aren't thinking of it on a deeper level like we are. Maybe that's why they include the post-credit scene of like, oh yeah, I know he's dead from the other Kangs.
It doesn't make any sense how they would even know.
Yeah,
they
that's
banished him. They banished him. Are they keeping tabs on him? They don't have any reference to the quantum realm, as far as we can see. They don't have any spies there. Like they just feel something within their multiversal soul.
But the Kang who was like all futuristic, maybe there's just some like tech he has. I don't know. He's like from even farther in the future than the 30th century, I think.
I mean, if anything, I would think that the council would just be assuming. Like maybe if they did see that everything that transpired, they would say, all right, he got sucked. He got shrunk down into the core of this probability storm thing. He's going to die. He has no way out.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
yeah, so if he's dead, which again, we both don't think he is, that'd be a bad choice. But just like another thing, I don't know, I feel like this movie, when I say it lost the Ant-Man charm, like the only time I can think of where it was like little guy in a big world, like how in the first Ant-Man movie he's like in the bathtub and you see him running from like the huge water that's like just a droplet, and it's awesome. Like it lost that charm, and I think this movie only really had it when he was getting sucked into the quantum realm and he was like running on the ant farm and they were all huge to him. And then besides that, it was like it didn't feel like Ant-Man really, in terms of like shrinking down and stuff. And then the big, not even like I don't even know if this is the biggest complaint I had, but the first quarter of the movie when they go into the quantum realm, it was very one scene Scott Lang's group, one scene Wasp's group, one scene Ant-Man, one scene Wasp, one scene Ant-Man, one scene Wasp. And it was like it was only them. And I don't know, it's like it was very like cookie cutter. Like maybe go back to Earth and show someone like showing the aftermath of what happened.
That's how you could have brought in what's his face?
Luis.
Luis, yeah. That's how you could have brought in Luis. He like just stumbles down there and he sees like all this like tech all broken and shit, and then he just tries to like scramble around and try and fix things.
Yeah.
And he thinks that he fixes it when they come back because time works differently in the quantum realm too. So it could have been like literally 10 seconds.
Yeah.
That they were gone. I think one of my complaints going back to that point is like it didn't even, the movie's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. It really felt like it was like Ant-Man and his shitty daughter as what the title should have been.
I didn't mind Cassie in this movie.
I didn't mind her that much, but I mean, like, it's not her intro story. She's just making tons of mistakes. I mean, yeah, Scott's trying to teach her, get big, punch, shrink, all this, like all the things that he learned in the first movie. But I don't know, I don't know. It kind of reminded me almost of a Naruto talk no jutsu kind of way out. Like she convinces everyone that everything's okay just because why?
Yeah.
What power of persuasion did she have that she convinced this whole tribal people that are running from Kang that they should help her and work together, and that she's actually on the good side. So like, there are certain things
Also, it's like, how did
where
she
I really
get?
feel like Wasp should have been. It should have been like Ant-Man and Wasp together trying to go save Cassie or something. That's how
Yeah.
I would have preferred it.
How did also she learn all this stuff? Because she said, "Oh, when you were gone, during the blip, I had to do something," and so Hank was like, "Yeah, she came to me with questions." Hank was
About the quantum realm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Hank was blipped during the blip too. So she's reading all this stuff and apparently is a genius learning about the quantum realm. And then he comes back for I don't know how long this is after Endgame, but like he comes back and she's a genius now.
That's one of my complaints about the MCU as a whole, and like I guess probably DC too. How many Omega level geniuses can you have on the planet? Like
Yeah. And like I'm sure
there's
she's not as smart as
always someone
Shuri,
who's a
but like
genius.
she is like
She created
Harvard
this thing,
level.
this
Yeah.
beacon down into the quantum realm,
Yeah.
like, and no one else had done that.
I did see like before the trailer came out, shout out New Rockstars. I love their breakdowns and everything that they do. Um one of the dudes on there was saying, because in the trailer she was like, "Oh, we built this to the quantum realm," and when she said "we" in the trailer, he thought it was like a younger version of Kang, who teamed up with the Conqueror to then free the Conqueror. So he helped her build the machine that would then let them access the quantum realm, that would let the Conqueror go free. And then it'd be cool if like that version died at the end of the movie, and then the Conqueror went free, and then that's Thanos of the new saga.
That'd be cool, yeah. I mean, it's obviously not at all what they did, but that would
Yeah,
have been cool.
yeah.
It would have been really cool.
Also, like what going back to like Scott being nervous at the end of the movie, um Kang is apparently who bought Avengers Tower under the name QENG Kang, not KANG. But we saw like some boxes I think in Loki at the end of time or something. There was something I forget that hinted that it was him.
But it might not be the Conqueror.
Yeah,
It
it's
might
just it's
be
just a variant
it
of Kang.
Earth 8 was it 86 was it 36 was it the
Also,
MCU
they call it
number?
616.
Okay. It might
But
just be that
yeah,
MCU 616 is Kang.
the problem
Yeah.
with it being 616 is a whole other thing. Because to say it's a multiverse means that the comic book universe is part of this universe or this multiverse, and the comic book universe is designated as 616. So everyone else called this universe, the MCU, Earth 199999. And then Kevin Feige came in, he's like, no, this is 616, but that doesn't make sense because we already have 616.
Yeah, they just need to renumber one of them probably.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just do it. Just give someone a new number and like have the comic book like multiverse be like some sort of like weird bubble that no one can
Exactly. Because
access
it's
or
like, yeah,
something.
it's like they would never interact with each other because how would you have 2D interact with live action? But I don't know. Also, apparently, people think that like Spider Verse is gonna have like Tom Holland and stuff, which would be cool.
That'd be badass.
Have like all of them come. What if like when Toby's returning to Toby and Andrew are returning to their worlds, instead of going right back to their world, Spider Verse happens or something, and they all come together? That'd be really cool.
That'd be cool.
Because we know that the
I mean,
PS4 one's in there. We saw him in the
yeah,
trailer.
they just have tons of options with that. All this multiversal stuff, they have tons of options. It's just I guess they have to balance it making sense, and also you have to kind of make sure that everyone has seen all the different versions that you're trying to reference. I mean, if you're just trying to do Easter egg references, it's fine. But if you need to if you need to know the
Yeah.
content, like if you need to have played the game to really understand all the references or like
Which they probably
appreciate the
won't do.
characters,
Maybe to appreciate the character, yeah, but like if I don't think they're
like
gonna make
events
it.
from the game probably
Yeah,
won't have any impact on the story of the movies and
yeah.
stuff yet.
I wonder if Miles PS5 would show up in there too. Like I don't know if it's just a bunch of Peters coming together for this movie because obviously the star is the one Miles and the one Spider Gwen, but then in the trailer all we really saw are Peters. We didn't see any like variants of Miles as far as I know. So
Because he's the more popular, more well known Spider-Man, so it makes sense. There's more versions of him.
yeah, no, but I'm saying like I wonder how this all. I don't even know what the plot of this movie is. Like why everyone comes together. So I'm just wondering if it's some Peter thing, like how Doctor Strange was like everyone who knows Spider Man, or if it's like everyone knows Peter type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's about all my complaints with that, man. I still think it was a fine movie. It's just also like going back to it being cookie cutter. It didn't do anything that I was surprised at. Like I feel like I called besides like Ant-Man getting sucked or not Ant-Man getting sucked. Besides Kang getting
Suck.
sucked in at the end of the movie, because I really thought he was gonna escape like the quantum realm and that was gonna start his saga.
Mhm.
Besides that happening, I called pretty much most things in the movie as they were happening, or like the big things.
I mean, there's a
Um,
chance they could just do the Loki out. Like Loki's back after he falls off Asgard because this is a wormhole,
yeah,
right? They just this whatever he did, it was another escape route out of it was a more painful escape route out of the quantum realm, whatever. I mean,
yeah,
they can just do that. One of my I mean, that's one of my I mean, obviously, I don't want to be a broken record all the time, but one of the things that again about the MCU is like what are the extents of these powers and stuff? How does like the explanation of Kang the Conqueror being so amazing in the quantum realm is like he got his suit back. What the fuck can his suit do? Does his suit build all these robots by itself? Like, what does it do? Does it give his brain more power? Does it give him the ability to suck like raw materials out of the quantum realm to build this like army of robots and subjugate the entire realm of people and stuff? Like, they just show you big explosions happening. He can kind of control energy and like bend it to his will and stuff. They never really give you a breakdown of what his powers are, and they literally enter into his mind and show you him killing like other Avengers and other Kangs and things like that. Why not just when another unexplained person, being Mama Wasp, uh, when she like works her way into his brain through his ship? Why don't you just show us what his fucking powers are? Show us him building the suit or something real quick, and show us like some sort of readout where maybe you got to pause it after the video. Maybe you need some sort of new Rockstar breakdown, but just show us the things that he built into the goddamn suit so we know what it can do.
yeah. I also wish like, and maybe this is asking too much because not every actor is gonna come back for an Ant-Man movie, but I just think it would have been so cool to just see him kill some Avengers, like other versions of them, and you could even show it with like Scott, have him show or have him like kill another Scott or something in the past. I think that would have been
Hmm.
cool instead of just killing like, oh, he killed the women and the children. I don't care about the women and the children. I want to see him
Are
kill
you
a.
the one with the hammer?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. You all blend together after a certain amount of time.
Listen, Jonathan Majors going. This is gonna tie. Listen, no. Hey, what do you want to talk about next? This is just gonna flow into this. Jonathan Majors here is why I wanted to watch Creed 3. Is why I watched all the Rocky movies, and he's just a great actor. And same with Michael B. Jordan. I like Creed 3 can't be bad. I imagine like there is no way it's a bad movie. You have
Yeah,
some
Michael B. Jordan is a national treasure.
hell
Like
yeah,
they need to bring him multiversal back to the MCU.
I know. And they also
Him dying was one of their biggest mistakes. Also,
yeah.
I gotta say, he could have been a villain level of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Um,
What a waste.
and then I was watching like some interview because he's a big weeb. I'm pretty sure Michael B. Jordan. He loves anime,
He does love anime. I've seen this on Instagram. His interview talking
and
about it.
they were talking like, oh, do you want to direct a Dragon Ball Z live action? And he was like, I love challenges, and that would be a challenge. But it's like
I mean, that was after he jizzed his pants on the red carpet when they
ooh,
brought up that topic. Michael
oh.
B. Jordan.
um. So listen, I mean, if he's like a weeb, I think I would trust him to do a Dragon Ball Z live action.
I mean, goes back to like the Henry Cavill stuff. If you're a fan of the source
Yeah,
material, you're gonna have way more faith. Like you're gonna have the faith of all the masses. Like if you prove that you're a fan, which he did, he had no he didn't have to say, "Hey, anime inspired a lot of the themes of Creed 3."
yeah.
He just says that. He's like, "I watch anime all the time."
He said
That gives
like
him credibility right off the
he
bat.
said sometimes like I think this is more seen in like Naruto, but like when the fight is going on and it's just crazy, and then you like take a step back, and it's like Akashi versus Obito, and their younger versions are fighting, even like in like a white space, even though their adult versions are currently fighting. He said like a lot of that inspired Creed 3, which I'm just very excited about. And then they were asking him like, who would you want to play in Dragon Ball Z if there was a live action? And they were like, you can't play Vegeta because he's a short king, and obviously you're not. Um, so I don't know who I would want him to play.
You could
I could
exclusively cast giants for the other
yeah,
characters.
I could see him being like a like just make him Goku. Goku doesn't need to be white. Frick it. Make him Goku.
I
And
mean,
Goku,
technically, they're all like Japanese anyway. They just
yeah,
draw them as white.
Goku doesn't need to have crazy hair. Make him Goku. I think that'd be so
He,
cool.
they're obviously the hair is iconic. Like they
No, but
would
you can't do that in
100%.
live action. It's like MODOK. It's not gonna look good in live action no matter what.
I think that with the tech that we have, he literally just wears like a green skull cap, and they can do it.
I don't think so. I don't think the hair would
I
look that good.
It might not look flawless, but I think it would look a lot better than you're picturing. Like, I
I
mean,
pro
look at Avatar. Look at what they make happen, right? And that's a mix of live action humans with Navi and all these other things like around them. If they leverage that kind of level of technology, of course it can look
all I'm saying
good.
is I don't think the hair. If they didn't do the hair, I don't think that's the biggest issue because I don't think it would look good live action.
Did I talking about the hair? Sorry, this is totally off topic. But did I ever talk to you about how I saw a video and someone um I never realized this, but Toriyama just draws the exact same face
Yeah.
and then puts hair over it.
I saw
The
that video.
exact same face. Tien, you see Tien, then he just puts Goku's hair on him. Looks exactly like Goku. Takes that off, puts Vegeta hair on. Looks exactly like
And then
Vegeta.
adult
Take it off, put
Gohan.
Gohan's hair. Looks exactly like fucking Gohan. Like he basically draws one face. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Chi Chi's hair goes on and all of a sudden, bam, there's Chi Chi, right? I don't know how he did this and got away with it for so long. Hair really makes a difference to people. That's crazy.
We
Like
should have noticed when Goten came out looking exactly the same. We should have taken a closer look.
Yeah, it's crazy how the face is identical. It's
Yeah.
like really. He definitely just draws the goddamn head over and over and over again and just uses the hair, like colors in it with different hair.
hmm
That's crazy to me. But that kind of I think the hair is iconic for Saiyan.
I don't know.
So it'd be tough. It'd be tough. I mean, actors wear wigs all the time. They could definitely make a wig that's like it. It would look shitty as a wig probably because it wouldn't really look very realistic with that much product and that much styling, and it wouldn't blow in the wind, right, and stuff like that.
I think you could do a spiky version or like a spiky real hair, no wig, no CGI. That like it would
They
look
did that
more
with the
modern.
first one.
Yeah, but the
They
hair
did that with
wasn't
the
the
first one.
problem.
Yeah, but it looked terrible. The hair looked terrible.
No, it didn't. The hair just looked like
I
normal
thought the hair
person
looked
hair.
terrible.
The movie was bad. The acting was bad.
The movie and acting were bad. I didn't even watch it, but the movie and acting were bad for sure, obviously. But I from just looking at like the trailers and stuff, that hair looked like shit. I was like, that's what they did to make him look like Goku, nah, or
I don't
Gohan,
think
whichever
so.
one.
I think the problem is like it was a modern movie. There's cars going around. He's like at a high school party or something. That's the problem with the movie. I don't think
No, you
that.
need to make it the whole world. It has to be the world of Dragon Ball.
That's what I'm
It has
saying.
like with the flying cars and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Like you got to do that. But
yeah.
it means that you got to leverage like CGI a lot more than you would probably think initially,
Listen, I mean, we made
because you
like
can just throw them
freaking
in some
Star
sort of
Wars.
canyon.
We made Coruscant in freaking Star Wars episode like what 3, 2, probably 2. They can do flying cars now easy.
They did Coruscant episode.
Oh, even better, 1999.
You, you go to Coruscant all the time. But speaking of that, by the way, multiple people said to me, I like when they got out of Ant-Man, the feedback was to jump back to Ant-Man real quick. The feedback was I didn't realize I was going to see a Star Wars movie.
Everyone said
It
that, and it's
basically
like I see it, but like that wasn't my first thought. But I heard that from
Well,
multiple people.
it's like 10 humans and then just a ton of
Yeah.
alien creatures and species. Like, so I do see why people said that, and it's a lot of unknown technology. How does it work? Star Wars, we give it more of a pass though, because we're not expecting to know how this shit works. Like,
Yeah,
we're not expecting to know how lightsabers work. They're just cool. MCU has set up origin stories where we know how pin particles work and we know how all this other stuff works. So it's more expected that you would understand the technology being used and stuff, or the character's powers. I mean, this is like what the third movie that Mama Wasp is in, and I don't know what the fuck her powers are. How she got them?
she
I don't know
doesn't
anything
have
about
power. She just has another wasp suit.
She telekinesis is into people's brains,
That was because she touched his thing that was attached to his mind.
but she can do that. He and no one else can.
Because no one else
She has
touched it.
powers.
No, she
has
doesn't.
quantum powers. Yes, she does.
I don't think so.
That's the way that I see it.
Has she done that before though?
Yeah, she used powers in the second movie
When?
when she's contacting them from the quantum realm, and
But
she
that's
beams into someone's mind. When she beams into Scott's mind and starts talking to what's her name? Eve. No, not Evangeline. Evangeline Lilly's character. I can't remember her fucking name. Oh,
Hope.
Hope. Yeah, Hope Van Dyne.
I guess, but like the Kang thing was, I think, 100% because she touched the ship that was attached to his mind.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not saying I don't think anyone else that touched that would just all of a sudden get flashes into his brain. If that was definitely something that would happen, he would have been aware of it and known that that's what was happening when she touched the ship. She's got some weird fucking powers. But anyway, we had already moved on past that topic, but I did want to bring that up because you brought up Star Wars, and it was something
Yeah.
that many people had said to me, and I like saw that feedback on Twitter too. Like everyone just saying it's basically a Star Wars movie and not an Ant-Man movie.
Oh, I guess she also healed Ghost in the second movie. Apparently, I didn't remember that.
I'm telling you, she's got weird powers.
But yeah,
And
also
they're
unexplained.
totally 100% unexplained. Yeah. Don't even question her about it. They're questioning her like, what happened in the quantum realm? How did you do all this shit?
Yeah.
Like, start there.
Okay, we are at about an hour, so we have 2 more points. I think we can push Apocalypse to the next time.
We don't have 2 more points. You talked about Rocky.
But I didn't talk about Rocky. I just said I watched them. I need a
I feel
deep
like
dive
it's
into Rocky.
5 movies. I feel like we should call it here and move those to the next podcast.
Then we can move both of them, but I wasn't going to get too in depth with them. I was just
How much time do you think you can do it in?
like 10 minutes, if that.
All right. I have only seen, out of all the Rocky movies, I've seen Creed 1, which he hasn't even watched yet.
I
So I
watched
have
that one.
absolutely no input on this.
So Rocky 1, you can very much so tell that it is written by Sylvester Stallone. All the dialogue they repeat literally like 3 times. There's one point in the movie when him and his friend Paulie are walking just down the street. He's like, "Hey, you think your sister would want to go out with me?" And Paulie's like, "Yeah." Literally 2 seconds later, he's like, "Hey, so you think your sister would want to go?" 3 times he says this in a row in the same scene. And
the script, I'm pretty sure, was a really short script, actually. Yeah. Like shorter than most for Hollywood. It was his first one.
Yeah.
I know some facts about it. Like it was like the first time that he had ever written a screenplay and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the first movie is just okay. Like, I think the fight scene is kind of cool, but it's also like you can very much so tell that they're missing the punches. It's an old movie though, so it's like I kind of got to excuse them for that. I don't think like choreographed fight scenes were happening in 1970 whenever this movie was made. And then 2 through 4 bangers all the way through. The fight scenes are better. The movies are better. The training montages are better. Specifically in 3, when Creed is training Rocky, awesome. And then he goes and fights Mr. T. Mr. T says, "I pity the fool." That's where it's from. I didn't know that. Hulk Hogan's in that movie too. Crazy. And then 4 is a great movie, but I promise you, Apollo Creed was killed as propaganda for Americans to hate the Russians. I guarantee it, and no one can convince me otherwise. This dude...
it's super obvious. I don't think that you're really breaking any ground.
I'm breaking ground. And then Rocky himself stops the Cold War. And so it's like, why kill him to make them hate the Russians for at the end of the movie to be tight with the Russians? I don't understand it. And this dude is like a machine. It's like he kills Apollo Creed with like 3 punches. I don't think that's humanly possible. And then Rocky goes to Russia and starts climbing a mountain, and he's strong enough to take on this dude. And then we get to the downfall of the Rocky franchise with Rocky 5. Rocky has to retire because he has some brain condition from getting punched in the head too many times. And so he trains this one dude who then becomes an asshole and like ends up fighting him at the end of the movie. The movie just ends in a street fight. It doesn't even end in a ring. The dude punches Paulie out of anger, and Rocky's like, "Yeah, you can't do that to Paulie." And then he fights him in the street. The dude loses, but it's televised because there's news cameras there. Real dumb. Worst movie. I think you should watch it once if you're watching the Rocky franchise, and then burn the disc and never watch it again.
Is that what you did?
No, I can't. I have a collection, a Blu-ray collection. But if I didn't have a Blu-ray collection, I'd break it in half. And then Rocky 6 goes back to okay. So I think my official ranking is like 2 through 3 are at the top, 1 and 6 are okay, and then 5 at the bottom.
2 through 4.
Yeah.
So it's 2 through 4, 1, and then 5, and then 6.
No, 2 through 4, 1 and 6, and then 5. Like 6 is just okay.
1, 6, 5.
Yeah.
You think the first one's better than the sixth one, right? Yeah.
Because in 6, there's like a 20-year time skip. His wife died from ovarian cancer like 3 years prior or something. His son's estranged now. And it's just weird. He's like an old man and he goes back into the ring at the end of the movie. And it's like, how? You had brain damage in the other movie and they wouldn't sign you a license to box anymore. And then in this movie, he gets a license to box again.
Well, they're like, he's so old, who cares anymore?
I guess.
Everyone just expects him to die.
So then he's in. I think he's in Creed 1. I don't know if he trains Creed. This isn't spoilers. You can tell me. I don't know if he just like manages Creed. I don't know what the whole thing is in that movie. But and then he's in. Him. Okay, so he trains him in 1. Let's assume he trains him in 2. He's not in 3. They're making a Rocky 7. Apparently, is he gonna box again? He can't.
I wonder if they'll combine the universes or something. It's like they run a gym together.
That'd be
like
cool.
A boxing gym together. And like it's like a tag team boxing match, first time in history, like a WWE match where they tag each other in and out.
Hell yeah!
Like they start a whole new genre of boxing.
But yeah, so this is the first time I ever like seen any Sylvester Stallone movie. I have the Expendables on Blu-ray. I never watched it.
The Expendables is a guilty pleasure for sure. It's like basically any action star from the 70s through like the noughts, the 00s.
Mm-hmm.
They just throw them in this fucking movie. I mean, Chuck fucking Norris is in the movies.
Really?
I think he's in the second one, and it's more of a cameo role than anything, or mostly a cameo role. But I mean, you have Ivan Drago. You have, because it's obviously anything with Rocky, like anything with Sylvester Stallone. You have Transporter. Why am I blank on names?
Jason Statham.
Really. Jason Statham. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger makes an appearance, even though he was the governor of California at the time. He does make also another cameo role. I think that's also in 2. It's a team. I think Steven Seagal's in 1. Jean-Claude Van Damme is the villain of one of them, and he was obviously like a big 80s to 90s action like hero and villain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like basically anyone from that era, from the Rocky / Sylvester Stallone era, who was a big muscle guy or like a big action guy, over the top movie, Rambo style kind of movies, anything like that.
Wow.
You're in. You have an in. You can just be part of it if you want. Basically, open invite probably.
Wow. But yeah, overall, I think they're fine movies. No, they're good movies. I think
I gotta say, I think the Creed series you'll put them above all the Rockies, I think.
Oh yeah.
Just what Creed I've heard, 1, I think, is fantastic. Like Creed 1, I've never seen any other Rockies, but I can tell you right now, I think you're gonna.
And it doesn't. They don't stream it anywhere, and the Blu-ray is like impossible to find on Amazon. It says, or not impossible, but like, why can't I get Prime shipping on this thing? It's like I gotta wait like a week, and then I just don't order it because I'm like, I deserve better than Prime shipping. Or I deserve Prime shipping, so then I don't order it. Instead of, if I ordered it, I would have had it by now. And now I just can't watch the movies. I'll probably need to rent them on Amazon Prime or something.
I luckily watched that on a plane, so like it was free to just watch. I watched it twice through because it was good. I didn't want to watch anything else that was on the plane.
That's funny. But yeah, so I'll probably watch those and Creed 3 in theaters, hopefully, if I finish them in time. But yeah, I guess that is gonna do it for today. Our first podcast back at the weekly grind. Thanks everyone for watching, listening. Appreciate it. You didn't hear it here first. You didn't hear it here last. You heard it here. Pause. Eventually.